Well, here I am in Playa Blanca, and I'm doing a walk today from the Lighthouse. Someone asked me if I'd walk from there and show you what's here. This is the Lighthouse. Kind of tragic really, because this is a listed building, which is why it's still here, and yet nothing has been done to preserve it. It's just slowly falling into ruin, and has been since we've been living on the island. It's no longer operational, of course. It's been super hot in Lanzarote the last few days, in the 40s. A little bit cooler today, sort of low 30s, but very breezy, so that makes it a bit more comfortable. But that heat has produced a haze, so you can't really see Fuerteventura. You can see the outline of Los Lobos there. And I've parked in the car park right by the Lighthouse, and from here you can just walk. You can probably see those people walking now, and join the promenade. And what I'm going to do is do that and see what we see. So there's the lighthouse. There's still a radar going on it, and it still operates as a lighthouse. That's kind of new a bit there, but it's the old original building that's listed. And if you follow the path from here, as you'll see in a minute, you join the promenade. It's a few years since I walked along here, so I don't know what sort of condition the promenade's in. We'll have a look shortly. This is the start of the promenade. There's a nice traditional fishing boat there making its way around the corner. I've just met a couple who unfortunately appear to have made a mistake, because they asked me where the market was, pointing towards the lighthouse. And the market, of course, is right at the other end of Playa Blanca, so it's a long, long walk for them. They said they were told to come out the hotel, turn right. The hotel should have told them to turn left. This section of coast here is very rocky, but it's very sheltered, so it never gets rough in this area. So if you do want to climb down off onto the rocks and swim out, it's usually perfectly safe to do so. So every time I've been to Playa Blanca in the last year or so, the wind has been howling down here. It was perfectly still when I left home this morning. I don't know if it's weird weather conditions or what, but it's certainly been the windiest resort that I've been visiting over the last year or so. So we're quite close to a kilometre into the walk now, and we've come upon one of my favourite little complexes here. It's called Villas Kamezi, K-A-M-E-Z-I. Quite luxurious villas that you can stay in. But it also has, in my opinion, the best, but certainly one of the best restaurants on the island. We've been a few times and thoroughly enjoyed it. Fine dining restaurant with a menu degustation, or a tasting menu. But they also have these rather cool pods right on the seafront. And you can book a tapas lunch in the pods and sit in there with your friends, and the staff will bring you out an array of tapas. Very, very nice place, Kamezi. There's one of the pods. We're in the lee of these buildings now, fortunately, so the wind's a little lighter. Won't be roaring quite so much in the on the microphone. So Kamezi have landscaped the gardens around their beautiful red stone wall here with cactus plants. And we've got a few in flower. And that one will soon be producing prickly pears. There's an oleander up there. and some quite interesting palms as well. I'm beginning to smell the restaurants cooking their food for lunchtime today. I always seem to be hungry when I film these videos. So this first big complex we're coming to is called SBH Royal Monica, Apartamentos Royal Monica. Tends to attract Scandinavian and German customers. It's not that popular with British or Irish visitors. I don't know much about it, to be honest. It's not one we visited. The promenade in this section is in good condition. As it had been some time since I'd walked along here, I wondered if that was going to be the case. It's actually cobbled, but it's pretty smooth. You won't have an issue with mobility scooters or wheelchairs along here. There's another of those little bays where you don't have a sandy beach, but it's still perfectly possible to get into the water and cool off. So this is the pool complex, Royal Monica. And they have these little zoccos on the right for their guests with sunbeds in them. Now this place coming up now is El Chiringuito Tropical, and it's a great place to stop for a lunch at any time, but they also do the summer night dinners, the Cenas de una Noche de Verano, where they have all of the island's top chefs, as you can see, from the middle of July to early September, come along and cook whatever they want related to Kilometre Zero, so only locally produced products. And we've been to a couple of these and they're always fantastic. They tend to do the dinners in this section here with the chefs preparing their food right in front of you. This next bit is the beginning of the massive H10 Rubicon Palace Hotel. If you go for the rooms down in this sector, you get fantastic sunset view looking back towards the lighthouse there. The hotel's a four-star and has all the facilities and amenities you would expect. Nice spa area, several pools, kid friendly. They've got an animation team here. And they also host a lot of weddings down here. The water's looking particularly inviting in this section. The frontage of the Rubicon Palace just goes on forever. This is the section where they hold the weddings. So the people attending the wedding have the lovely sea view across to Fuerteventura. That's one of the pools at the top of those steps. And Despacio you can see now is the spa and Thalasso Centre. The hotel's put steps in so you can get down into the water from here, although we haven't reached the first sort of proper beach on my walk yet. This is the kids club here. Quite funky looking buildings. And we finally reached the end of the frontage of the H10 Rubicon, and we walked another 600 metres, so it's almost 3/4 of a kilometre of frontage. That boat you can see anchored there belongs to the dive school we're about to reach, so divers can swim out to that, and it will take them to the various dive sites in this area, which includes the underwater museum, which is right round near the marina. Now, sitting between the H10 Rubicon Palace and this small shopping centre you can see now, or is this small shopping centre you can see now, and the other side of it is another very large complex. Which is called the Nura Palace. So in here you have the Greek restaurant Sebastian's, you've got the Natura Beach Tapas Bar, Marea here, which is a kind of cocktail bar, plays some good music, good place to come to for a sunset session. Now this is information about the Museo Atlantico. They do daily trips to there in their boat, and it's well worth visiting if you're a diver. It's not deep, it's only sort of 12 to 15 metres deep, but the sculptures in there done by Jason de Caires Taylor, a British sculptor, are fascinating to look at, and they're very thought-provoking, and most of them are modelled on people who live on the island. So as I said before, this is another large hotel here, the Natura Palace. They have a fairly high wall, so it's quite hard to see anything inside there. We might see something at these steps coming up, but very popular sort of mid-price range hotel. Built around a large swimming pool. Well, they've done a great job with their gardens at the front here. They must water them a lot. You know how sad our gardens are looking at the moment. So if you're staying in either of the two big hotels and you fancy a walk to the Lighthouse, which is where I started, to give you a feel for it, it's about 2.5 kilometres, or I've done about 2.5 kilometres to this point. So it'll be a nice 5k early morning walk to the Lighthouse, take a look at that, and then walk back for your mid-morning coffee. In this next section we've got a series of privately owned villas, which is an urbanisation called Playa Real. Shame about the high wall really, it takes away a lot of their view. I would have put glass in had I been them, but then I guess you lose the privacy. And in the next section here we've got Atlantico Gardens, which is a big bungalow complex, one of the earlier ones built down here in Playa Blanca. I describe it as kind of budget self-catering accommodation, I guess. Unfortunately, it looks like that section up ahead has become a sort of impromptu wild camping area with all the motor caravans there parked up. Really is time for the island to embrace the motorhomes that come here and give them somewhere decent, proper campsites. 2 or 3 would work very well on the island with good facilities, rather than forcing them to pull up in car parks like that and camp up, which is actually illegal, but it's quite hard to enforce when they don't really have a choice. This is actually a small desalination plant which supplies tap water to some parts of Playa Blanca. It's quite noisy down here. Always seem to be running at full capacity and making quite a bit of noise. And this next hotel is the Timanfaya Palace. Another big one, another 4-star. Nice bit of topiary on the trees here. Everyone out and about enjoying the sunshine around the pool. And again, they've put steps in there so you can go straight into the sea from the hotel. They have their own on-site dive centre at the Timanfaya Palace. I can see another dive boat out there. I wonder if it's come out from here. I wasn't planning to walk this far, but I wanted to show you Playa Flamingo on a busy, hot summer's day. So this is going to be my turning point. This is 3.6 kilometres from the Lighthouse. So I've got to walk back that far to get to the car. Quite unfortunate that the fencing around that lookout post has been pulled down by those hideous lovelocks adorning it, and therefore it's now closed to everyone, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, you have to pedal a bit. You've just got to do the momentum.
They've even covered the door. But Playa Flamingo is a lovely, lovely sheltered beach, thanks to those 2 big breakwaters. Super safe for kids to learn to swim. And there's the dive boat coming back in. In fact, 2 of them coming back in. So there you go, I'm going to call it a day there. Hope you've enjoyed that walk from the Lighthouse to Playa Flamingo. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you've liked it, or leave a comment if you've got any questions about what you've seen. Once again, thanks a lot. Bye for now.